Hi everybody, lovely to see you. We're fully online for this seminar today, so great to see all of you here. My name is Sharon Davies and I'm the director of the Feith Indonesia Engagement Centre, and it's a great honour today to be co-hosting this session with Indonesia Council, and I'll introduce Natalie in a moment. I'd like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the people of the Kulin Nation on whose lands I am based today, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and acknowledge that claims to sovereignty were never ceded. Now, before handing over to Natalie, who's going to run through most of today, I'd like to first hand over to Rennie, who is going to tell us a little bit about the library and also a really amazing event that happened on Friday. So Rennie, over to you.
Thank you very much, Sharon, and welcome everyone to our fourth Monash Indonesian Seminar Series for this year. So what I will be showing is our Indonesian special collection. So I hope you can see my screen now. So on last Friday, we had an event at the Matheson Library here in Clayton to rename our Indonesian historical collection to Merle Rickloff's collection. So for those of you who don't know about what we have in Monash Library, so we have one of the biggest Indonesian collection in Australia. And for Merle Rickloff collection, it consists of over 2,000 items of books and serials about Indonesia from the Dutch East Indies era. And we have put the link there. So if you click on the link to our Monash catalog page, you will be able to see all those 2,000 and over items included in Merle Rickloff's collection. So you can just do a Control F to find what you're looking for, or you can go and browse what we have in terms of the Dutch East Indies era collection. So we're very happy that we finally renamed the event, given how the contribution that Professor Rickloff did for our Indonesian collection. Over to you, Sharon. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Rennie. Yes, it was really a lovely event on Friday, and Julian was able to say a few words, and Greg and some others. So it was really nice. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce my co-host for today, Natalie Pearson, who is at the Sydney Southeast Asian Studies Centre. And researchers and lectures there, and also importantly the president of Indonesia Council. So Natalie, over to you to introduce our speakers and run us through the plan for the seminar today.
Thank you, Sharon. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I would like to thank Sharon and Rennie and extend my deep appreciation to the Monash Feith Indonesian Engagement Centre and Monash University Library for co-hosting this event with us today. And of course, our wonderful speakers who I will introduce in just a moment. I'm calling today from Gadigal land, and I would like to pay my respects to the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and pay respects to elders past and present. So let me run through how we're going to be running this session. We've actually got 90 minutes today, which I think is longer than the standard Monash seminar series format. And that is a reflection of the level of interest that we've had in the event. Hopefully all of you who are attending today have had the opportunity to think about questions that you might have for our BRIN representatives. We have received quite a number of questions in advance, which is fantastic. So we'll be going through those later in the session. But if you have questions arising throughout the session, please feel free to pop them in the chat. You can send them anonymously directly to Sharon or Rennie, or if you're happy for everybody to read them, you can just pop them in the chat and we'll go through them. So what we're going to do, I'll introduce our speakers, and they're actually going to give us a short presentation first, following which I will go through the questions that we have received in advance, and then hopefully we'll have opportunity for those questions from the floor as well. So without any further ado, please let me introduce our three colleagues from BRIN. I think all three of you are here now. First of all, we have Dr. Najib Burhani, who is a research professor at BRIN, waving there. Thank you so much for joining us and making time for us today. Dr. Najib is accompanied by Dr. Trina Fazanti, who is Program Coordinator for the Institute of Social Sciences and Humanities at BRIN. Thank you, Trina. And then finally, we have Bapak Sri Wahyono, who is representing the Director for Management of Research and Innovation Permits and Scientific Authority. Bapak Sri is going to be discussing research centres and communities, I believe. So between the three of them, I think we'll be able to get through some of the really detailed questions and the broader, more conceptual questions that we've received. But like I said, if you do have questions that you'd like to ask our panel, please feel free to pop them in the chat. So I will hand over to you, Dr. Najib, and if you'd like to share your screen with us, and we'll have a short presentation from BRIN before we move on to the questions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's very happy to be here and joining the discussion related to BRIN. I would like to share, I think, we would like to share this, hopefully, short presentation about BRIN. To the screen. Yes, next one. Yes. My part is only talking briefly about the institutional setting, and then will be continued by Dr. Trina Fazanti. She will present an overview of the Institute of Social Sciences and Humanities and also the opportunities at BRIN. And then the next part will be Dr. Tri Sundari. She has a problem with health right now, so someone will take over her presentation about new ethics requirement. The next, next one. So this one is a brief information about BRIN. Well, actually, the history of organization of research in Indonesia. That we can say that it has begun since 1817 with botanical garden in Kebun Raya Bogor, and then the establishment of MIPI Durenas in 1956 and 1962, and then the establishment of LIPI in 1967. And also a number of research institutions like Lapan, Batan, Puspitek, and PPPT during the old and new order of Indonesia. Next one. So here, next one. Here is the perhaps the history of research and innovation in Indonesia since 1945 until 2021. Where you can see that Minister of Research and Innovation has been changing the name from the early history of Indonesia until now, and now the Ministry of Research and Innovation dissolved, and all of the research institutions in the country integrated into one institution, BRIN. That's why we can say that this one perhaps having overarching role from the regulation, research funding, research facilities, and also implementing research. And a number of research institutions like DRN, Dewan Riset Nasional, how to translate it into English, has been dissolved. National Research Council has been dissolved, and also a number of institutions also no longer active. So this one is the history since 1948 until 2021. So all of them now integrated into one under BRIN. Next one. So actually, we have briefly wrote, we have written this one. the history, perhaps the transition, new arrangement of research in the historical part of this one in this small booklet, a book that was published by ICIS Research Institute Singapore. So you can download it to know the history and then also brief information about the transition. And the next one. So this one, the legal foundation of the establishment of BRIN. And the basis of the existence of BRIN is President Regulation number 33 2001, and then amended by Regulation number 78 of 2021. So based on this one, Kemenristek Dikti, LIPI, Batan, Lapan, BPPT, and all government bodies of all research units in the ministries all integrated into BRIN. And with the establishment of BRIN, now we have no longer the Ministry of Research and Technology, and we don't have Dewan Riset Nasional or National Committee for Research, and also there is no research units in the ministries and government and other government bodies. And then the next one, this one is I would like to underline here that the right side is the organization of research or research organization or institute. The responsibility of this one research organization is to implement research, to execute research, to conduct research, while the left one, deputies and also directorates, is are those that responsible with research regulation, research including research permit, and then research facilities in the country, and also research funding. So why I wanna emphasize here, because we are part of the executing body for research, while we are not, although we are discussing in several times regarding the regulations, but the one that responsible with the regulation is the which one? Deputy of Research and Innovation Policy, I think that one, right? And today these deputies or directorate will be represented by Pak Sri Wahyuni. Wahyono. Pak Sri Wahyono. And then there are 12 research organizations or institutes, 3 of them related to social sciences and humanities, research organization for social sciences and humanities, and then research organization for archaeology, linguistics, and literature, and then research organization for which one? Governance, economics, and public welfare. And because of the existence of BRIN is not only responsible for BRIN, but also for the whole country. That's why, as can be seen from the number of the deputies, there are a number of deputies, deputy of development policy. So this one is providing like policy brief, policy information, policy, yes, like policies to the government. And then the deputy for research and innovation policy, this one is like the one related to research permit, right?
Research permit is under
human resources.
Yeah, human resources.
Oh yeah. So this one is for talent management, human resources of science and technology, and there is also infrastructure. So including perhaps at universities and also at some provinces in Indonesia, providing like research facilities, and then infrastructure, and then also facilitation. This one is related to what you call it, like research funding, right? This one like sailing days, and then expedition, explorations, and then national research priority that now become BRIN, Research Indonesia Maju in Bahasa Indonesia. And then there is also research and innovation utilization, this one related to industry, and then also deputy of regional research and innovation. So now every province in Indonesia are expected to have like Research Institute. We call it BRIGA, Badan Riset and Inovasi Daerah, under supervision of BRIN, but they are independent with the funding from the local government. So as you can see on the top left of the picture, there is no longer LAPAN, LIPI, BPPT, and also Badan, and 44 research units in the ministries all integrated into BRIN. Right now we have 14,800 employees, around 11,000 researchers, and 4,000 supporting staff. Next one. So, so the mandate, back previously to the previous slide, and so the direction of the BRIN, as you can see on the right, top right of the slide, integrate the direction or the goal of the BRIN is integrating research and innovations, human infrastructure, budget, resources in the country. And then the second one, creating an open, inclusive, and collaborative global standard of research ecosystem. That the second mandate of the BRIN. And then the third one is creating the foundation of a strong and sustained research and innovation-based economy. So that's three mandates, three goals of the establishment of BRIN. And then next one. So this one related to the government, we are having a mandate to strengthen science-based policy. And then next one, I think we have, and also in the context of the research in the country, is creating and strengthening ecosystem for research and innovation. And then the next one is, actually we have all the necessary regulations to strengthen research and innovation in Indonesia, with several kind of regulation related to industry, related to endowment fund, and also related to talent management, and also related to local government. And then the next one is we are with the new system at BRIN. All facilities and infrastructure now can be used together by universities and also research institute, research what you call it, research communities in the country, and also some people from foreign countries. The next one, and this one is a number of what you call it, schemes that we are providing to for global engagement. I mean, by inviting, for instance, from some research fellows from other countries, and also providing visiting professors and research what you call it, like a research fund and something like that. And also for young researcher, providing postdoc fellowship, scholarship, and also we have like a degree by research program. And then the next one, this one is a number of research and innovation facilitation that provided by BRIN, such as sailing days, grant, and then also local knowledge acquisition, startup, innovation, product trial grant in health, innovation product testing grant in agriculture, something that very expensive and previously difficult to pay, and then now we are providing that one. And then I think, and then the next one is my last one. This one is the spirit is actually regarding the global engagement, is the deregulation of the previous system that sometimes difficult to follow. I mean, but we hope that Pak Sri Wahyuni, Pak Sri Wahyuni already joined here, that will explain us about the research permit and the deregulation system and something like that. Thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you so much, Prof. Najib. Dr. Trina, did you have slides to share with us as well?
Yes, I have one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can see them now. Thank you.
Then, thank you very much for joining in this session. I'd like to continue the presentation about Institute of Social Sciences and Humanities at BRIN, and also the opportunities at BRIN that we can offer to you. Thanks. Sorry, there is okay. Okay, next, please. Okay, now I'd like to give you briefly history of Institute of Social Sciences and Humanities. Actually, still new institutions. So since 1st September of 2021, the Deputy for Social Sciences and Humanities under LIPI at the time, Institute of Sciences, and some research unit in some ministries now are integrated into one institution under BRIN. We call Institute of Social Sciences and Humanities. So which the institute has 7 research centers: Research Center for Population, Society and Culture, Politics, Area Studies, Education, Religion and Belief, and Law. So Institute of Social Sciences led by a chairman, which is who reports directly to the chairman of BRIN. Next. So here's the so this institute has 2 main tasks. First is to produce knowledge that meets ethics and research integrity, and the second is to conduct research and scientific activity that make, of course, to real contribution to Indonesian issues and contemporary dynamics. So there are 2 authorities of this institute. First is to design and manage research program, especially on social science and humanities. And second is we can make national and international cooperation agreements, especially on the social sciences and humanities research. So here's our structure. So under a chairman, there are 7 head of research center directors. Next. So the first research center is Society and Culture. So this center, under research center, there are several research groups that focus on certain research area. And currently, this center focus on such as millennial disruption, international conference, and also has research on deliberative democracy and also religious moderation, and also about digital communities. So we also have journals to support these research centers. Next. So here's the Research Center for Politics. There are 5 research clusters, such as foreign policy, international issues, ethnicity, gender, religion and politics, political representation, government and regional autonomy, conflicts, defense and security, and political, economic and strategic issues. So next. So this is the Research Center for Area Studies. This center especially doing research outside Indonesia, such as in Africa and also in European and also in Asian countries. So this center focus on interdisciplinary research to learn about countries and societies. So the scope is like comparative studies, transnational network, and strategic analysis. There are some research flagship under this center, such as critical spice routes, digital heritage, African connection, gastro diplomacy, science, technology, and society, and environmental humanities. Next. So Research Center for Law, actually this is relatively new under this institute. Most of the researchers are coming from like Ministry of Justice, and also from institutional law court and something like that. So there is 3 research groups under this center, like law enforcement and court systems, national law development, and law and society. Next. So this is a center for religion and belief. This center also is still new under BRIN. So they just started on January this year. And most of the researchers are also coming from ministries. They are focused on several research areas such as groups, streams, organization, and movement of religion, spirituality, and mysticism, and so on. And this is a center for populations. We focus on there are 4 research areas such as population mobility, family and health, human resource and employment, and human ecology. Next. Yes, there is a center for education. We focus on such as on character education and society dynamics, 21st century learning, modern education management, community education, vocation and special education, and curriculum and education. So currently, we focus on several research themes such as education, nationality and character building, education technology, inclusive education, and also education in the era of disruption, and also social innovation on education. So under Institute of Social Sciences and Humanities, there are 495 researchers. 23% in Research Center for Population, and 22% in the Research Center for Religion and Belief. Sorry, Research Center for Society and. Next. Under the institute, we have our own research programs. So there are 2 pillars under these programs. This is about nationality, Indonesian and nationality, and the second pillar is about dynamic contemporary. So we focus on how to engage with the epistemic communities and also engage with the global collaboration to ensure that this program can be doing well. Next. So this year we have this 2 research programs. First, Indonesia and the nationhood. So under this program, we have several clusters focusing on the certain strategic issues. And next, the research program dynamics of contemporary world. We also have a several cluster under these issues. Next. So this is our international publications. We produce like international edited book volume and something like that. Next. And also academic journals. Next. So to promote our research institute and also to engage with many parties in producing our knowledge. So we have several collaboration, like such as with Leiden, Delft, and Erasmus. So we have a workshop on October and November this year about the smart, sustainable, and healthy city in post-COVID-19 Indonesia. So and we also have other international events. Last time we already we do a conference, Southeast Asia Conference, and also we also have BRIN Asia's Conference on Millennial Disruption, and BRIN Asia's Writing Workshop on Indonesia New Capital Nusantara, and next we will have a BRIN LDE Academy and International Forum on Spice Routes. 2022. So we also promote like social media laboratory under this institute to produce a new understanding how this community also focus on certain issues. So next, I would like to give you briefly about opportunities at BRIN. First, we have research and innovation talent management. So under this program, we have young talent development program, like to support science competition, young scientist award, and something like that. And we also have talent mentoring program. So we have internship and research assistant and research aide for the young researchers. And also we have capacity development program. So we support our scientists to continue their master and doctoral degree under degree by research program. So next we have also researchers mobility program. I think we already mentioned this one about postdoctoral and visiting researchers, and also talent appreciation program like innovation award for our researchers. So the researchers mobility program actually aims to this is like an activity organized by BRIN in order to increase the capacity, also the competence, energy for research, development, assessment, application of science and technology. And also through this program, we expect that our national research ecosystem can build the nation competitiveness and independence. Thanks. So the objective of the program to improve the quality of researchers, to strengthen the research and innovation ecosystem, to increase the capacity of research, and also to increase the synergy collaboration between National Research Innovation Agency with universities, not only in home country, but also abroad, and also to improve our scientific outcomes. Next. The benefit of this program is to improve researchers' competency, also to contribute to improving the research and innovation ecosystem, of course, through the number of publications in high reputation scientific journals, also innovative product and establishing international research collaboration. Thanks. So this is two active projects under this program. First is postdoctoral. So for PhD fresh graduate from outside BRIN, including foreign nationals or Indonesian citizens to be in Indonesia, conducting research with a research group at BRIN for a certain period of time. And for visiting researcher, for experts and scientists from outside BRIN, to be in Indonesia, conducting research with research groups at BRIN for a certain period of time. Next. For postdoctoral, this is a researcher mobility program through collaborative research and of science and technology at BRIN. So we are not only focusing on Indonesian citizens, but also foreigners who have just completed their doctoral program. And for the terms, this is like open recruitment. So we have certain the information system that can support this program. So we have a research collaboration host at BRIN. So ensure that we have a host at BRIN beforehand. It is recommended. So for duration is 1 year and can be extended. And the output, target output is 2 scientific publications in highly reputable global index journals per year. And the fundings is incentive in the form of living expenses and also provide a round-trip economic class international flight costs. For the requirements, Indonesian citizens, also for foreign nationals, other than BRIN officials, maximum 5 years after graduating from doctoral educations, have experience relevant to the chosen topic of expertise. And for foreign nationals, it is required to obtain an immigration permit in accordance with the provision of the applicable laws and committed the implementation of the postdoctoral program. So there is some requirement. I think everything is available in the website of management of the talent management at BRIN. For the requirements, I think next, yeah. For enrollment flow, here's we have to register. We have a registered account through the talent management information system. You can see here there is a management talent BRIN Go ID, and complete the registration, document verification, postdoctoral seminar. So we have seminar to invite the postdoctoral to present their projects, research project ideas, and announcement and stuff. Okay. Next. Visiting researchers, I think almost similar, but there is some differences. Researchers mobility through this program is for experts and researchers from universities, research and development agencies, and also industry, both at home and also abroad. So the terms is it is also open recruitment, and duration this is 1 month to a year and can be extended. And they offer only one highly reputable global index scientific publications. And we also provide actually incentive in the form of living expenses and round-trip economy class international flight costs. And the requirements, that is, this is Indonesian citizen and also for foreigners, doctoral graduate, expertise, and also for foreign national, we also need required to obtain an immigration permit and committed to the implementation. I think the required document is also similar to postdoctoral program. Next. The enrollment flow is also similar. You can see in the management calendar. And this is the information system provided by BRIN to support the two programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Trina. Thank you so much. Actually, we already have our first question from the floor, which is, can we get access to your slides? Is it possible for us to share the slides with the people who are attending today? Can you hear me? Dr. Trina, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Natalie. So
Okay. So the first question we have is, can we share the slides? Can we share your slides with the participants today?
Yes, of course.
Yes, we can.
Thank you.
You can share. Yeah, please.
Yeah, thank you. There was a lot of great information, a lot of detail, and it was really nice to see some of the opportunities, the fellowships, the scholarships that are coming out of BRIN. So I think that was a good start to the session. So what I'm going to do now is go to the questions that we've received. And I've already shared these with Dr. Najib and Dr. Trina in advance, so they're not caught on the fly. But the first question is, what is the best approach for somebody, a researcher, just wanting to do a short trip to Indonesia, say 1 week? So I'm going to share the questions in the chat as well. But for somebody wanting to come to Indonesia to do very short research just for 1 week, what is the best approach in terms of getting the research visa?
Natalie, I think there is one more person that will present the issue of research permit, and I think help us answering that question.
Excellent. Okay.
Pak Sri Mulyono, Sri Wahyono. Pak Sri Wahyono.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Najib.
Oh, hello. Great.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you, Pak Sri.
Okay, thank you. Based on our regulation that all foreign national who will conduct research in Indonesia should apply research permit. Recently, we have a regulation of BRIN number 22 of 2022 regarding clearance, ethics, and research. Yeah. So all foreign national who will conduct research in Indonesia should apply research permit. Yeah. The regulation are not define that how long the research period will be granted the research permit. Yeah. But there is a different little bit procedures regarding the visa. For a research period less than 30 days, they can apply the limited stay visa, but without any kitas, without apply a limited stay permit at the local immigration office.
And so, Pak Sri, can I ask, do researchers apply in advance for the limited stay visa, or do they only apply once they arrive in Indonesia at the local immigration office?
Yeah, immigration headquarters in Jakarta already innovated regarding the electronic visa. The visa can be applied from anywhere, anytime by Indonesian counterpart. Yeah, in the name of the foreign national guarantor for the visa. But we suggest you please enter to Indonesia by using social culture visit visa, visa kunjungan sosial budaya, B11, number B11. Don't use a tourist visa or visa on arrival, yeah, because visa on arrival is unconvertible, yeah, cannot be converted to be limited stay visa.
Okay, that's great information. So for people who want to do short research, less than 30 days, they should enter Indonesia on a SOSBUD visa, B11, which can then be converted at immigration headquarters.
Immigration office, yeah. Immigration office.
Immigration office into a limited stay visa without a kitas. That's
without kitas.
Okay.
But should be applied by your Indonesian counterpart as your visa guarantor.
Okay, that's really useful. And is there information about what other documentation is needed for that process?
Yeah, actually we have a slide to share to Prof. Najib and colleague, and you can also download the slide recently. Sorry, I will upload the document, PowerPoint. Yeah.
Are you going to do that now, or you share
I'm not
it with
ready.
us later?
Sorry, I'm not ready this time. But after this meeting, I will send to Prof. Najib, and then Prof. Najib or his colleague can send to you by email.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Suddenly I should attend this meeting.
Yes, yes. Please don't apologize, Pak Sri, because as I've explained to everybody, you are filling in for somebody at the last minute. So we are just grateful that you're here, and
it's okay.
There's no problem that your slides aren't ready, and we'd really love to receive them in the future. Can I ask one more question? Does that mean for those people who want to use limited stay visa, enter on SOSBUD, convert to limited stay visa, does that mean the researchers have to go through Jakarta? Does it have to be immigration office in Jakarta?
Yeah, actually, there is a reporting at the post-arrival procedures. Actually, research permit has been after you granted after getting approval from the clearance ethics we will issue the research permit after receiving payment of the non-taxation revenue or penerimaan negara bukan pajak (PNBP). Yeah, but if you have a collaboration with BRIN, BRIN research centers, your colleague can apply free of research permit fee. Yeah, and after verification, we will issue your research permit. Yeah. But some reporting to related government agencies should be followed by the foreign researchers in Jakarta. For example, to apply traveling permit at the police headquarters in Jakarta. But to other government agencies, you can apply directly by electronic system.
And is that electronic system through BRIN?
No. Besides BRIN, you have reporting to some government agencies, to Ministry of Home Affairs. You should apply surat pemberitahuan penelitian, but you can apply electronically by the link provided by the Ministry of Home Affairs.
So is this all possible for, if you're doing research for less than 30 days, will this process take quite a long time? It sounds like it might be quite complicated still, even for short limited stay visa.
Yeah, I think your colleague can handle all administrative affairs in Jakarta, and you and your colleague from Australia can focus on the feedback for collecting data. Yeah, please communicate closely with your Indonesian counterpart in order you can use your limited time, your tight schedule in the field, only focusing for collecting data. And for administrative affairs, you can your colleague, I think your Indonesian counterpart will be help you.
Okay. All right.
Please coordinate closely with your Indonesian counterpart. It is the key.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I hope that's clarified things for the people who are sending questions through on the chat. Please.
Could I just jump in with one clarification? Because I know this is going to be such a big issue for many of us. And thank you so much, BRIN, for jumping in and trying to answer the questions. Just picking up on a few of the points that are coming through on the chat. If, for instance, we're in September, and to use me just as an example rather than people who've sent the question, they've suddenly found out they've got 1 week leave in January to come to Indonesia to do 1 week of research. I guess the first question is that possible, being we're in September, that they might get all the clearance to come in January? And I know the process is very complicated, but is it possible just to talk us through, you know, if I wanted to start today to come for a week in January, what do I need to do? And it sounds much easier if I work with BRIN directly, because there's a fee discount and maybe some fast tracking. But if I wanted to work with a small university and, you know, Lombok as a random example, just is it possible to talk us through maybe the process and the timeline?
Yeah, it should be better. You have a good planning, in conducting research, good planning, including timeline, itinerary, when you first day to visit Indonesia, and you should also predict how long the administrative affairs should be finished by Indonesian content.
Oh no, I think
we've lost him. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hopefully he returns.
Yeah, I hope he will return soon. But I want to add a few things.
Yeah.
That the first one is that perhaps from his statement that we can see that one of the key to make easier and faster is asking the counterpart to help the process of the visa. For instance, if you have a collaboration with the universities or research center at the BRIN, they will help you in the process of visa application. And so, that one also, the one that was stated by the chairman of BRIN regarding the application, because the system is not only under BRIN right now, but also involve immigration office and also Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And then apa tadi? So if someone wanna come doing visit under 1 month, so I think we have a clear idea that using B11 on socio-cultural visa is the best way to do that rather than research visa, right?
Prof. Najib, I understand that. Can I just ask one clarifying question though? Does that mean the researcher still has to go through Jakarta, or is it better for the Indonesian collaborators to make the arrangements in Jakarta? What if your collaborators are not in Jakarta?
I think it's because the process is through the online system. So I think it's possible, to for the collaborators in outside Jakarta to help you in this process. So there is no problem with it.
Is he back? Not yet. Okay, while we're waiting for him to rejoin, which hopefully he does, I've got stacks of other questions here, so I'll move through them. Okay, one of the questions is about research ethics codes in Australia, which often forbid research data from being stored with governments, with foreign governments. Can you explain what BRIN expects in terms of data storage?
Let me try to answer that one, although I'm not exactly know well about that one, but as far as I know that the storage of the data is not closed. It's not open, sorry. It's not open. So this one is also helping researchers to store their data, but it's not accessible for anyone if there is no permit from the owner, from the researcher. And do you have any idea more?
Actually, the storage of the data is under BRIN. So the BRIN has no authority to collect all the data, but secure the data with BRIN.
I think
that's one is
but I think the difficulty arises when Australian institutions, universities, do not allow data to be stored by other governments. So even if it's stored in closed, secure storage by BRIN, that is still forbidden by university ethics processes. So how can we navigate that?
I don't have an exact answer for that one, because what is implemented by BRIN is, I think, following the regulation Undang-Undang Sisnat Ikak, and I think we need to discuss that one with our chairman. And I think if Pak Sri Wahyono already come here, perhaps he has information, but is not here yet.
Okay, well, I might let one of you send him a WhatsApp message to see if he's going to be rejoining us, because it would be great to have his input as well. I've still got a few more questions though that I think you can help with. So we have a question, and Rowan, I can see you've got your hand up. Rowan, do you mind popping your question in the chat, if that's okay, just so I can sort of manage the different questions we've got. We've got one from Ariel Herianto. So can a foreign researcher conduct a brief research, less than 30 days, with no local collaborator or partner? And if so, how do the regulations differ?
Okay, Prof. Najib and colleague, let me use my colleague's account, because I have technical.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I have technical barrier.
Please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Actually, the spirit of the law number 11 of 2019 is to develop national R&D institution by international collaborative research. So the position of the Indonesian counterpart is very strategic, in the international collaboration, international research collaboration. Although the research conducted by foreign nationals is only a short term, the mandatory of the law should involve Indonesian scientists or Indonesian researchers.
Okay, I think that answers your question, Ariel. I think the answer is no. Okay, this is a good question, and actually I had it on my list. This is from Anissa. If Anissa Ramalia, if the foreign researcher needs to come for more than one visit, does the visa permit have to be attained per visit, or can you get a multiple entry option?
Oh yes. Immigration have a policy to give a multiple exit re-entry permit visa. But you should apply at least for 6 months limited stay permit visa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's possible.
Okay, so you need to apply for a 6-month limited stay visa.
Yeah, at least 6 month limited stay permit visa. It will be multiple exit permit entry. Multiple exit permit entry by requesting at the local immigration office.
Okay, that's good. Now I've got quite a few questions about this. What about Indonesian students studying in Australia? So Indonesian citizens, Indonesian students working at Australian institutions, what are the ethics and maybe visa requirements for them?
Yeah, research permit is not needed for Indonesian citizen studied abroad, but clearance ethic is a must. Should apply at the BRIN or to the Australian Ethics Commission. Based on the research will be conducted in Indonesia or in Australia. It depends. It depends.
So if they're an Indonesian citizen studying, for example, studying their PhD at an Australian university on an Indonesian topic, what do they have to do for ethics in that circumstance?
Yeah, clearance ethic should obtain before conducting the feedback, before collecting data started.
So but, Indonesian ethics approval.
Indonesian ethics. If the research will be conducted in Indonesia,
okay.
If the research will be conducted in Australia, clearance ethics, ethical clearance from Australian Ethical Commission is needed.
Yes.
It depends in the field of research.
Okay. Now, on the flip side, what about Australians based at Indonesian institutions? I assume they have to go through the ethics approval process through BRIN, but I just wanted to ask that question. Is that right? They still need to go through the BRIN ethics if they're Australian citizens based at Indonesian universities?
Yeah, if the feedback will be conducted in Indonesia, ethical clearance should be obtained from Ethical Commission in Indonesia.
Okay. All right, we have so many questions. I really appreciate you taking the time to answer all of our questions. Okay, we have a question from Petra Mahi, who wants to know, obviously what we're learning today is that it's essential to have an Indonesian collaborator, and you need to have a collaborator either at an Indonesian university or at BRIN. And so Petra's question is about where we can find out information about the researchers at BRIN. We learned that there are 11,000 researchers at BRIN, which is astonishing. How can we find out more about these researchers? Is there a comprehensive list somewhere?
You mean
if we want to start a new research project on shipwrecks in Indonesia, and we don't have any collaborators in Indonesia, how can we find out who is working on that particular topic in BRIN?
Okay, I think my colleague from Soshum can help me to explain this question.
Okay, thank you.
I think that one, right now we have a data, but still not yet, what you call it, exposed in our website. So the data is available, the names of the researchers, particularly in social sciences and humanities. And we have a website, and we have also a booklet, and we have also we will share it, I think, to you what we are having here, so to make collaboration possible. And also, actually, through the research center is the most convenient way to contact researcher in the country. I mean, at BRIN. I mean, if the issue on education, for instance, the head of that research center is Dr. Trina Visanti. And then if it is related to the issue of society and culture, then you can contact Dr. Lilis Mulyani, and then she's also Australian graduate. And I think mostly coming from Australia here at Social Sciences and Humanities. So contacting the head of the research center would be, I think, would be very helpful in finding research in the area that perhaps fit with the Australian research. And there was a question, Mas Sri Wahyono, regarding the storage that I could not answer. Perhaps you can help us.
Yes, please. Yes, if we could go back to that question about storing data. So that is one of the requirements of the process at the moment, that Australian researchers are required to share their data with BRIN and to have it stored securely with BRIN. But the problem that we have as Australian researchers is our universities do not allow us to share our data with foreign governments. How can we navigate that requirement between the obligations we have to our universities, our institutions, and the need to work with BRIN to get ethics approval?
Okay, based on law number 11 of 2019, yeah, regarding national system of research and development, yeah, the mandatory is also for foreign researchers who conducting research in Indonesia. I think based on the mandatory of the law number 11, yeah. We now still drafting the technical regulation, yeah, regarding depository and repository of the primary data, yeah, resulted in the joint research by foreign colleagues. Yeah.
So is there an opportunity perhaps for us to shape those technical regulations through sessions like this? Because as we've explained, it is difficult, impossible for us to meet our requirements in Australia and Indonesia. So is there a way that we can inform the development of those
Okay.
technical regulations?
I got your point. Yeah. Bilaterally, I think we can discuss. Yeah. Indonesian government and Australian government should negotiate this matter because it is the level of law. Yeah. National law of Indonesia and national law of Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bilaterally, we can discuss. Yeah. A G2G umbrella should be drafting. Yeah. Jointly. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I think that is a great suggestion. Thank you for taking me seriously while I push that point. Now I have some more questions, if I may. If I do research interviews via Zoom as an Australian researcher in Sydney, for example, and I do not enter Indonesia, do I still need ethics approval and a research permit?
Who will conduct research in Australia?
Let's say it's me, an Australian researcher, conducting research in Indonesia, but on Zoom. Do I still need, and I'm not visiting Indonesia, I just talk with my collaborators on Zoom. Do I still need to get ethics and research permit?
You mean that you will collect data by online system?
Yes.
Yeah. The most important thing is about data sharing and intellectual property right agreement should be drafting writtenly and should be legally binding and agreed by all parties. I think the most important, yeah. The most important research collaboration is research outcome. Research outcome mostly is publication, yeah, scientific publication. Yeah, it is the point, I think.
I think that's, yes, please, Sharon.
Natalie, so just to confirm, if, for instance, you know, Natalie's just doing interviews from her office in Sydney, not going to Indonesia, but she's applied through her university for ethics and her collaborators also have ethics approval, everybody's agreed to all of the terms and conditions and co-publishing, then there would be no need in that case for Natalie, hypothetically, to go through.
Yeah, I think ethical clearance is needed, yeah. For example, if you will interview deep interview with key informant, yeah, Indonesian key informant, yeah, I think ethical clearance is still needed. Although you will conduct interview by any platform, digital platform, by online system. But the substance of the question, yeah, directly you should ask to the informant. It is the should be reviewed by ethical committee.
Okay, so just to confirm that point, that if we had ethics approval from the Australian, in this case, university, and the Indonesian ethics attached to that university, and there was no Australian, again as an example, going to Indonesia, it wouldn't need to go through ethics, BRIN ethics approval.
Yeah, I think from BRIN ethic approval or from Indonesian, from other, yeah, outside BRIN, but Indonesian ethical commission is needed, yeah, because if you will interview, for example, with Indonesian key informant, yeah, you should get approval from the source whom ethical clearance.
In BRIN?
Yes.
I'm still confused. I'm sorry.
Yes, from BRIN.
It's one more response to that. I think in the case of digital interviews, we still need ethical clearance. because this is obligatory, right? To
Yes, of course.
to collect data. This is a primary data, but if because you don't need to come to Indonesia, then you don't need a research permit.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Research permit is not needed. Yeah.
You still need ethics.
Yeah, including visa is not needed, but ethical clearance is still needed because you will conduct collecting primary data.
And would that application be made by the partner university in Indonesia?
Pardon me?
If I was staying here, and would then the Indonesian partner organization be the one who would go to BRIN for the ethics permit?
Yes, using online system. We are actually all using online system. No need to come here. So the website is for talent management and also for research permit are available at one of them is one at IPS, ipsh.brin.go.id. Hey, good idea, right? Yeah, and then you can go to the bottom of that one, the link of various information you can find it there. And
yeah, everything is online. They can help you.
So just to confirm, would that be Natalie, hypothetically, would that be Natalie who goes to BRIN for ethics, or would that be her partner university in Indonesia?
If you have a partner in Indonesia, that would be better because the partner can help you to apply the ethical clearance at BRIN.
So, okay. Let me move on because there's still lots of questions. And this is an interesting one that I know a few researchers are facing at the moment. What if you already have an existing? What if you have an exist? Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah, there are a few examples. Researchers from Japan that now conducting research here and collaborating with Research Center for Society and Culture. So that research center were helping. I think the process of the visa and then also the process of like clearance ethic and something like that. And I think that would make the process faster and smoother.
All right, so it's very clear that it's really important to have a research collaborator in Indonesia, and this is contributing to the development of Indonesian research culture more broadly. I appreciate that. What about existing projects for which they already have ethics approval from before BRIN? What about projects that are still going on now under the old system? Do they now need to apply for new permits under BRIN, under the new system?
Yeah, let me to explain regarding the existing research permit issued by Ministry of Research and Technology is still valid. Yeah, until the research permit expired. But okay, for the continuation, prolongation or new research permit should apply to BRIN.
Yeah. Okay.
clearanceethics.brin.go.id.
Okay, thanks. It's really clear. Thank you. Okay, next question. Are there any topics that are too sensitive for BRIN to approve?
Yeah, sensitive issue, you mean, yeah? That we have been shifting paradigma in the foreign research permit policy. In the next time, we use what we call security approach. But recently, in the regulation of number 22, we use what we call scientific approach by using ethical clearance. Yeah. So the proposal submitted by foreign national will be reviewed by ethical clearance based on scientific approach.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. All right.
Moving from security approach into scientific approach, right, Mas Joki? Kok Mas Joki?
Wahyono, yeah.
But well, you're not.
Yeah, sorry, I use Pak Joki account because I have a technical barrier with my Zoom.
Okay, no, that's fine. The information you're sharing is still very useful, regardless of which account you're using. Okay, I have a couple of points I just want to clarify. This is from Rowan from quite a while ago. I'm sorry. I'm hearing a lot about Indonesian counterparts. I get the impression that the Australian researcher needs to collaborate with an Indonesian university or organization in order to secure a research visa. Is that correct? I think
Yes.
we've already answered that, but can you just confirm that is the case? Is it not possible to undertake research in Indonesia without going through a local university or BRIN?
It is impossible because the mandatory of law,
Yeah.
you should involve Indonesian counterpart.
Yeah, I think that's come through pretty clearly. Okay, thank you. All right, now this question about the short stay, what was the term? The limited stay visa, entering on a SOSBUD and then converting to a limited stay visa. That's really useful advice. Is it possible for that information to be shared on the BRIN website, just so we as Australian researchers can have confidence, showing our managers, showing our universities that we are following the correct process for short-term research visits?
Yeah, we are now still developing a system, yeah, and application system, online system, and also guideline book for foreign researchers.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we are now still drafting the guideline book. Yeah.
Okay, that's terrific, because of course we don't want to do anything
Yeah, so don't
illegal.
worry.
Yeah.
I think not so. We will release the book. Yeah, we will release the book after internal discussion.
Okay, and do you have any idea when that will be? Is that in the next month, the next 6 months?
I think will be will be faster than 6 months.
Okay, great. That will be so useful. Thank you. We look forward to that. Ellie Williams just had, oh, sorry, Sharon.
No, you go.
I just wanted to follow up about SOSBUD, and I have heard this as well, that SOSBUD visas have been discontinued. Is that true?
Could you repeat? Sorry.
That's okay. I can hear it's noisy. Can you still enter Indonesia on a SOSBUD visa, social budaya visa? Because I did hear that from some people that they had been cancelled.
Yes, of course. For attending the meeting, workshop, seminar, you can use social culture visit visa number B211.
B11. Okay.
B211.
Great.
Yeah, B211.
Okay. Now, one last question, and then I'll let Sharon jump in. What are the current timeline guidelines? How long does it take to get ethics approval and a research permit at the moment?
Yeah, we have 14 working days for processing ethical clearance. And after that, after there is decision of the ethical clearance, we will issue the we will check blacklist, blacklist internally, and when the name of the foreign national pass from the blacklist, we will send electronic billing for the research permit fee payment. And after receiving payment, we will send a research permit by email. It is around 4 working days for issuing research permit after getting ethical clearance.
That sounds quite fast, and some of my colleagues have recently gone through the process, and it's taken them about 6 months actually, and maybe
no. It is a long time ago. It is long time ago, 6 months, because I have worked in the division more than 23 years from LIPI.
Amazing.
From
Okay.
LIPI start in 1996 and 1999 until now. Yeah.
Okay.
So I can explain very detailed. Yeah.
You
How
can.
long the process
Okay.
from the last time. Yeah. It is very. We have public innovation. So more faster, more cheaper, and I think it is a better.
Okay, great. We're very grateful that you're here to help us with this session. I'm going to hand over to you, Sharon, because there's still questions coming through.
Yes, there is, and we won't get to all of them. We will finish at 12:30 to let our friends at BRIN get on with their other busy schedules, but we can certainly have another one, another seminar. We'll try and get to as many as we can, but I know one of the pressing issues is the joint publication, particularly for PhD students. A requirement for them is that they publish to show that it's their work. Is there any leeway on that regulation for PhD students so that they do not have to publish with an Indonesian counterpart?
Yeah, actually, the co-authorship or joint publication is depends on the real contribution, yeah, scientific contribution from its partner. Yeah. As PhD student, Australian PhD student, for example, conducting research in Indonesia with Indonesian counterpart. It depends the contribution of Indonesian counterpart. Yeah.
I add something, Mas Wahyu.
Yeah. I think Pak Najib will add something, please.
Yeah. So for the publication, well, we are right now actually moving more to international one rather than national one. I mean that we are expecting that all researchers at BRIN and also from the country more having publication, not nationally, but internationally. So if someone want to publish not in Indonesia, I think that one is better. And regarding that one, I mean the process that perhaps the Directorate for Research Permit is still preparing the apa namanya buku panduan itu
guideline book.
Yeah, guideline book. You know that BRIN was established in 28 April 2001 and still 1 year, just finishing the integration of the organization, integration of the institution, and now starting this year we are moving with the issues of research and also regulations and also facilitation of the research, and hopefully we will do fast and then everything will be ready by the end of this year, right, Mas Wahyu? Yeah.
Okay, can I just, is that a yes or a no for PhD students? Can they publish on their own after they've completed their PhD fieldwork in Indonesia?
I think yes. Yeah. Our government encourage to join publication with foreign scientists, especially just as Prof. Najib mentioned that not national publication but international scientific publication. Yeah.
Right. Another quick yes or no. Can the blacklist be shared? It's a terrible term. It needs a better term. But the list of people who will be denied research permit, can that be made public?
Gimana, Mas? Itu blacklistnya itu.
Oh,
Kayak
it's
tidak masuk ya.
That's okay. That's okay. We're asking the questions we're asked, so that seems unsure at the moment. Another quick one. If the Indonesian government invites me tomorrow, I'm very open to that, to fly first class to Indonesia to give a talk, to help with some ministerial something. What visa should I come on?
Yeah, I think your activities should be defined. It is categorized as scientific research permit or not, scientific research activities or not. Yeah, if not include as is doesn't categorize as scientific research activities, research permit is not needed. You can apply social culture visit visa number B211, yeah, and attend the meeting like a workshop, seminar, yeah, without any permit.
Sharon, to add that, Pak Wahyono, yeah, I think that's true that we don't need to have a research permit to conduct a seminar and something like research activities similar to that. But if you want to collect data, doing research, in that case, then we need the research permit.
Correctly.
Can I just jump in with one question from earlier about approval for people doing medical research? Sorry, I can't find the question. Somebody shared it a long time ago. Are those guidelines still coming through for people doing medical and sort of more laboratory scientific research? How does it differ across the disciplines?
You mean that there will be foreign national will conduct research in the field of medical?
Yes.
I think the procedures is the same.
So here's the question. I'm aware that health or medicine ethical clearance category is not open yet. Can you let us know when it will open?
Oh, yeah. We are now preparing, preparing to open ethical clearance in health research, in medical research. But in this case, if your colleague will conduct research in Indonesia in the field of medicine or health, you can apply ethical clearance from Indonesian universities. For example, University of Indonesia, or Gajah Mada University, and other university who have already as ethical clearance commission in health and medicine.
Okay. So they're coming out soon. We've only got 1 minute left. I've got one last question. What about exploratory visits to develop new projects? So just making new contacts, finding out if there is potential for a project. Can that be done on a tourist visa or a social budaya visa?
If the project is part of the research activities, the visa should be limited stay permit visa number 315.
315. Okay. All right. That's super useful. Okay. I do have one more question. I'm sorry. Last one. Can you give some clarity on data storage and privacy with BRIN? I think we've sort of been through that, but just getting a few final questions about how BRIN stores research data.
Yeah, we understand that the data is very confidential. Yeah, especially the tentative final report, still the raw data, and has not been published. We aware about this matter. Yeah.
Okay.
We responsible to keep the data, the security data, yeah, because the data is still confidential, yeah, because it's not been published.
Mm. Mm. And there might be potentially sensitive data in there. Okay, look, I think it's been a really useful session. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question in the session. There were a lot of questions coming through. I really appreciate the time of the 3 researchers we've had join us. Professor Najib, Dr. Trina and Pak Wahyono. Thank you so much for your time. We're really looking forward to those technical regulations coming out, to the more detailed guidance coming through from BRIN. And hopefully to all of us being able to collaborate and do more research between Indonesia and Australia in the future. So hopefully this session has contributed to greater understanding about some of the challenges that we're facing in navigating these new research and ethics requirements, but also some of the opportunities for doing more research with Indonesia into the future. So look, thanks to all of you for joining us, and a huge thanks to our 3 interlocutors from BRIN in particular. Thank you. We will distribute the recording and the slides after the session to all who attended. Thank you.